Today on Uncommonly Good MTG, we're playing a red burn deck from whoguess. And in this deck, there's no Swift Sphere, there's no Phoenix Chick, there's pretty much no hasty aggro dudes at all. It's just laying out some dudes with big butts and burning the place to the ground. If that sounds interesting to you, stay tuned to find out more. Hello and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I'm your host, a person whose collection of mental illnesses are so unique that pretty soon they're going to be referring to it as Dr. Suckit syndrome. Doctor, you can't suck it. Yes, thank you. Filmed before a live studio audience. Thank you so much. You can't suck it. Word to your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you today from my secret underground headquarters, and I'm bringing to you a deck I found over on the Aether Hub, hosted by whoguess. Whoguess. This one is called Red Burn. Red Burn, baby. I love the name. That always attracts me. Red Burn. And what I was glad to see is when you come and take a look at it, no Swift Sphere, no Phoenix Chick, none of those hasty guys. It's a aggro red deck with like slow big butt dudes. That's what we got going on there. Fat bottom red dudes, you make the magic world go round. Bow, 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 bow. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the cards that are in this deck. We're going to talk a little bit what this deck should do, and then we're going to go out and we're going to crush some hopes and dreams. Let's start off with what do we got here? We got a little bit of a board wipe with 1 point of damage. Let's go back to this guy to start off with. Here's Ojer Axonil. Deepest Migot. And he's a 4/4 for 4 trample. And it says if a red source you control deal any amount of damage, of non-combat damage, less than this dude's power to an opponent, that source deals damage equals to his power instead. But that's a lot to say. And then when he dies, you turn it as the land, at which point then you can convert it back into Ojer at some point. Only if red sources you control dealt 4 damages or more non-combat damage this turn and only as a sorcery. That's not going to be hard to do. So if he gets killed, as long as he doesn't get exiled, this guy can come back fairly easily. So yeah, you take anything that's doing, like let's just say 1 point of non-combat damage and turning it into 4 points of non-combat damage. All right, so there we go. But it only does it to opponents, not to creatures. So this thing will do 4 points of damage to an opponent and 1 point to each creature and planeswalker. Still, that 4 is pretty awesome. Kumano is going to do 1 point of damage to your opponent, or 4 points to your opponent, and 1 to a planeswalker, as well as put an additional Popo counter on the next creature that will be played and turn into a hasty 2/2. Play with Fire will do 4 points of damage to an opponent if you manage to do that. This guy will lay out 4 points of damage to an opponent, plus put out a blood token. This guy will do 4 points of damage to an opponent. As you can see, there's a trend here. Lightning Strike will do 4 points of damage to any target. That's if we have this guy out. But still, before that, they're doing pretty good. This guy lets you draw cards and play them until the end of your next turn. This thing can do either 1 or 4 points of damage to an opponent. And it can have all this stuff can happen multiple times depending on how many, non-creature spells, or in this case, instant or sorceries. Chandra comes out and can do either 1 or 4 points of damage to target player or planeswalker, right? Mechanized Warfare will make it do another point of damage as long as it comes from a red source or an artifact. So, yeah, man, if you got Mechanized Warfare and Ojer, that means that you're doing 5 points of damage with each one of these little 1-pingy things we got going on. Not to mention that if you got out Mechanized Warfare, then this guy's doing 3, this guy's doing 2. I mean, and all of them are doing an extra point of damage because of that. So we got our multipliers in there, and that's where the beef really hits the road. Like a bunch of hot dogs just scraped on asphalt. All right, so what are we going to do? We're going to get out and we're going to control the board a little bit, but we might just try to ignore what's going on as much as possible. Just go for the face as much as we can. Try to hold our cards back until we can get out our multipliers. Once we get the multipliers out, just start laying it down. Waiting for that excessive damage to just sort of creep up and be way more than what this guy can handle. We don't have a lot of dudes that can run in for the attacks, but we do have some big butts. This guy's got a 3. This guy's got a 3. This guy's got a 4. We can play defense if we have to. I know it's mono red, and I'm talking about playing defense. What is wrong? Let's go see how it works. But before we do, let's say our prayers and talk about what is best in life. Dear Black King Toxrill, who dwells within the dark chambers of my heart, please hear my prayers and grant your blessings as we attempt to crush our enemies, see them driven before us, and to hear the lamentation of the women. Alright, we're playing against Uber Noob. Sounds very familiar. 3 mana, good. Not a lot going on at first, though. Of course, you know, turn 2 is pretty much in the first realm there. Keep. These guys got big butts. Let's try it again. What do you do for me here? Nothing. We're shooting her down. Alright, so Mechanized Warfare can go pretty far on the next turn. This guy's trying to Esper me. I'm mono red. Suckerfish. Kinda needed her. I don't know, it's up your big butt. All right, taking out Kaya again. This time for 2 points. What are you going to do? Not the coolest. This will do 2 points across the board, though. You're just going to pump it again. All right, mana. And we got 2 guys out. Yeah, we need to get a hold of some cards here. He's been dorking us around too much with his control. Apparently I gotta shoot that guy with all that. Alright. Let's start off with a little End the Festivities. They're gonna love that crap. Shoot! Gone! And drop this guy down. And in your face! And we win. Oh, ho, ho! That was a glorious ending. All right, we were playing against Quintanus. There we go. 2 mana. I really hate it when this deck gives you 2 mana. It's like, I only need 1 more to make this deck work well. And yet, it doesn't like to give you mana at all. We only need like 4. Alright, we're not doing so bad. We'll let it go. I could take the hits from the little bird there. Suck it. Alright, he's gone. We don't have to put up with that guy anymore. Just had to put up with 3 of his sisters there. I'm going to plus it up. Ooh, and I can't play it. That just gets thrown away. Well, next turn I can use Chandra to put out Ojer. Oh, it's just going for the kill. Alright, well, no matter, I can play it no matter what. That thing exiles it. How incredibly awful. Oh, there we go again. Shoot! Down to 11. In for 2. Got him down to 9. What are we doing now, Serpico? That's fine. I lived. That's why that's fine. All right, and I got 5 left. He doesn't got anything going on. Let's just swing it in. I don't care. He's down to 3. You can suck it. Now the question is, can you just do it? Get something good? You did. That's top deck for you. All right, playing against Damitbobby. Three mana, I like it. Oh, it's a rat deck. Just wonder if we can burn these guys out faster than they can swarm us. So I'm going to do it this way. Try to get more guys out there. He's got 2 blacks available, though. So next turn we'll pick up another 2/2. And then we'll put out one of these alchemists as a 1/3 or 1/4, which will be really nice. I'm glad those are gone. I'm really looking for our multipliers. What I'm looking for. What does this guy do? Creates a rat. Great, whatever. Here we go. Have a good time. All right, lay down. Lay down the law. Let's take it in. That's who you're going to kill, huh? You only block one of them. The other guy can't block. I see. You're going to go ahead and kill the etching with that now. All right, good for you. Oh, you didn't do it. Oh, because he dies forever in a horrible way. Because damage dealt from him would exile it. He's going to totally rat me. I'll get rid of the easy one. Not getting to the beef that we want so badly. Alright, Thermo-Alchemist. Voldaren Epicure. Pow! And roll in. Down to 8. I will go throw out 2 more dudes on our next turn. Swarm, swarm, swarm. What do we got going on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Suck it. Let's put this guy out. He'll be fantastic. And in we go. In we go. Victory! Alright, we're playing against Loxy. 319. Keep. Alright, Fox, I'll let you stay active. You don't have to go to sleep. Everything's fine. Looks like we're playing against some dinosaurs. You guys going for the mana. Alright, shoot in the face. Mechanized Warfare. Oh, he's not instant sorcery. That's right. Okay. I was thinking any non-creature spell. That's not the case. Oh, the devil. Let's see if we can pull at this guy. I'm glad it stopped and reminded me to do that kind of stuff. Can I play that? Nope. Let's do it again. Alright, pop that out. Pow! And we're good. Wait till his turn before we activate its super ability. Must not have a lot of dinosaurs. What has he got? He's got need something a lot bigger than that, maybe? Yeah, I'm not going to block. Activate ability. Alright, I've got 5 mana. We'll fire breathe. We'll throw that guy out. We'll lightning strike our friend right there. And let's end some festivities. We're going to cut his mana way short. All right, we lost her. That's fine. Oh, I did it stupid again. All right, let's just go ham on this guy. All right, down to 4. Down to 1. Down to -1. Bam, bam! All right, there we go. Easy as peasy. Victory! All right, we're playing against C7N2. Keep. All right, so we're going up to Thermo-Alchemist. Then we need 4 mana. That's what we really need. Hopefully we can thin the board a little bit. I like it when you've got a bunch of little guys like that. When I'm holding an End the Festivities in my hand. Let's mechanize this warfare. See what he's going to throw against us. Actually, we got a great hand. I mean, there's nothing we could do after End the Festivities, but we got all of the multipliers we want. Alyssa. That's not great. Because we can't get rid of Glissa, then the problem is Mechanical Warfare is going to be gone. All right, unfortunately, I'm only going to be able to do 2 points of damage to Glissa. She's going to make it. This doesn't do direct damage. It does do it to Planeswalkers. Unfortunately, I need another one. Oh, I got it. All right, let's do this. Bam! Oh, it's not a Planeswalker. It's not a Planeswalker. Because she's a legendary. I just think she's all Planeswalkery. Unfortunately, it says it to each opponent. I can't touch Glissa. Glissa's just going to rip things apart. I mean, I guess I could just get Ojer out and just not block. But yeah, Mechanized Warfare, that thing is going to die. Hopefully it goes after Chandra and not me. What should I do? Damage? Or try to grab a card? Let's just do some damage there. There we go. Let's do some more. Do a little bit of that. And then win the game. And then win the game. I didn't see it coming. That's how awesome this deck is. Victory! All right, so we are with Redburn by whoguess. Whoguess, that's who did it. And oh, it's one of the most glorious decks I've played in a long time. It's things you play against these things every once in a while, and they kind of hit or miss. I don't know. And I tried to play them before, and I was just ramped over. Is it that with Ojer, Axonil in it, that this deck becomes so much better? That's hard to believe since he's a 4. But I can tell you, when he is in play, that guy is incredible on what he does for the rest of what's going on there. It really, really good. One of the things I like is you just sort of ignore the creatures in front of you. I mean, if you could just sit there and do damage to your opponent and just suck up everything coming at you, yeah, who cares, right? If you can do it fast enough, you can live through it. It's okay. It's okay. All right, let's just see. Who's the MVP? Who's the most valuable player of this deck? It is definitely Ojer Axonil. Yeah, that dude, let's go ahead and hover over him and make him nice and big there. Yeah, because this deck does a lot of non-creature damage. You're not running across the board and hitting people with it. Like, I think the only guy you have that does that is Voldaren Epicure. I guess also Kumano's etching. That dude comes out. He does a little bit of running. But for the most part, I mean, it's just non-combat damage to opponents, right? And this thing makes each one of those be like 4 rather than 1. And that is so hard for people to keep up with. Just wham, 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 wham. So, yeah, Ojer Axonil, you are the MVP of this deck. Congratulations. You're going to Disneyland. All right, was this deck competitive? I ended up getting a 70% win rate. 70%. A little bit better on the play than on the draw. So, yeah, I'm going to say this is a competitive deck. One time, you probably see it. I played against Mono Red Super Aggro. I lost, but just barely. And I think I went second in that, and that's just what's going to happen. So, yeah, when it comes down to Mono Red Aggro versus Mono Red Aggro, it's whoever goes first is usually going to be the winner. And that's what happens sometimes. But this deck's got the chops. As long as you don't run out of mana. Because that was the only thing I had a problem with. Is that there's so much you could do with 2 mana. But the problem is sometimes I had a really hard time getting to 3 mana. And you need 3 and 4 to be able to get out Mechanized Warfare and Ojer. Those 2 dudes, and then getting them out just makes everything just balloon into Super Saiyan mode there. So, was it competitive? Yes. Is there downfall? Sure. But all those Platinum Mythic decks, they all have even worse downfalls than this, or even maybe they're way more tighter. They lose way more often. 70% is a fantastic win rate. So yeah, this is by far, to me, a competitive deck. Number 2, was this deck fun? Well, if you like Mono Red, this deck is an incredibly fun deck. And my inner goblin loved it. The only thing it didn't like was the fact that there just wasn't creatures out there going to town on people, going ham, as we like to say. Yeah, it didn't like that. But all the explosions, man, we are the Midnight Bomber, what bombs at midnight. Because this thing just goes nuts when it comes to just throwing down the pain in a non-combat-y kind of way. And I appreciate it. It was just a cascade bomb of just one after another. Ba-bam, ba-bam, ba-bam. Thing is, you really weren't taking out like creatures. You're just going after the opponent's face. That was fun. That was lots of fun. All right, lastly, was this deck interesting? And I'm going to say yes, it was. Reason why, number 1, because we're playing with Ojer Axonil, which is a new card from Caverns of Ixalan there. I haven't seen it. Haven't seen a deck like this. I was happy to see it. It's something new. Number 2, because this was one of those, Thermo-Alchemist, Flamebreather kind of decks. People play with it from time to time, and like I said, when I played with them, I've always just gotten my ass beat big time. So playing with them in a deck that's actually competitive was really interesting to me. I love seeing how that stuff interacted, and this deck did a great job of just working and just doing so much damage. I really, really found it interesting. I liked playing a mono red like aggro deck that wasn't with that monk guy with prowess, right? Or having the Phoenix chick, or the other chick that comes out 2/2 haste. Basically, your hasty aggro. We have none of that. All we got in here is Kumano faces Kakkazan. And then I guess Voldaren Epicure, who does the damage as though it's hasty, even though it's not. But that's what it's in here for, is for doing that non-combat damage. So yeah, it was a really good take on something completely different that direction. I loved it. All right, so let's add that up. Was this deck competitive? Yes. Was it fun? Yes. Was it interesting? Totes my goats. So that makes this into an A+ deck. And as I'm required by federal law to say, this deck is so choice. I would highly recommend you pick one up, should you have the means. Alright, that's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the secret underground headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. See you next time, Space Cowboys. Later.